Good morning and welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. I'm a little nasally today, a little congested.
Me too.
I think most of mine is from the bachelor party activities, just yelling a lot and being real loud the whole time. Well, not really the whole time, but mostly the one night.
I'm sure, but even at Comic-Con, it's loud. Like, you have to talk louder than normal.
Yeah, I think actually part of it was also when we were at the house, which I'll get into everything from the bachelor party in a little bit. But also when you just have 9 people in a house and people are drinking and there's a little bit of music, people are just talking louder than they normally talk. But welcome. In case you weren't familiar with us, my name is Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie.
And on the list today, we've got our Costa Rica field trip, which I'll get into very quickly. We are doing a group trip to Costa Rica.
Yes.
Late March, early April of 2025. Now, if we don't sell enough trips by Labor Day, we might just cancel it and try it again a different time with different dates that work. So there is an early bird special right now, still available. You save $200 on the entire trip. Handles basically everything you're going to need while in Costa Rica, but you do have to get yourself there. And so you are responsible for the flights to, and if you want, from Costa Rica, or just stay there forever.
And let me be clear, it does not cover all your meals. It covers some.
Most of them.
Some.
Yeah. So the next thing Carla Marie has is her movie night, which is a week from today.
Yes, next Monday night, if you're in the Seattle area, I am hosting an advanced free screening of It Ends With Us. It is the movie with Blake Lively. It's based on the Colleen Hoover book, It Ends With Us.
Coho, baby. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's free, but you have to fill out the link that Claire's about to put in there. And first come, first serve, though. So just because you put your name on this list doesn't mean you are guaranteed to get in.
Yeah, if you roll in like 4 minutes late, you might not have a spot.
Yeah, all the information is at the link, but it's 7 p.m. next Monday night. There you go. Thank you, Claire.
Okay. And I know, Carla Marie, before we get into the bachelor party stuff this weekend, you had field day with the Seahawks. What's it called? Training camp.
Field day. Yeah, we did some potato races, 3-legged races, you know. No, I've had 2 days of training camp so far. I've done 2 days. There have been 4 days, and it's been fun. It's so fun to be back there. So I'm doing on the mic stuff. I've gotten to see a lot of our listeners and viewers. I saw Jess from Tacoma, which was cool.
So here's the thing. For people who don't do what you do, on the mic, everything you do is on a mic.
That's true.
So explain what the difference is.
So I've been in front of the crowd. So there's like 3,000 or more people that come to training camp. And I've gotten to be, just talking to them before practice kicks off. And it's so much fun because they're
What are you telling them?
So amped. They're just so amped. It's the best. We play some trivia.
Oh.
That's cool. We play some other games. Telling them to put their phones away during practice because no phones because we don't need no spies. Mm-hmm. And I got to throw things out into the crowd. I can't wait to share those photos because I look like an absolute psychopath.
Like with a t-shirt gun or with your arm?
My arm,
okay.
I was so out of breath. And I was like, oh, that is physically the most active I have been in close to 3 months.
Oh, since your surgery?
Because I was like running and throwing. I haven't done that. Yeah. So that was fun. And then separate of that, while I'm there, I also do some fan interviews, like not on the loudspeaker, like filming some stuff. So I'll do fan interviews, player interviews. It's been a good time.
All right. And then when's the next time you're going there?
Tomorrow.
And is that open to the public as well?
Yeah, tomorrow's Kids Day. Oh. So if you're going to come at all with kids, tomorrow's like the best day to do it. Mm-hmm. Not that any other day isn't a day to do it, but like tomorrow, activities and more things will be geared towards kids.
Well, while Carla Marie was doing that, I was celebrating my brother Justin, who I believe is in the chat right now, is celebrating his bachelor party.
Yes.
With a bunch of his buddies at the nerdiest place you can possibly go for a bachelor party, San Diego Comic-Con.
I had mentioned this to a few people at Seahawks, and they were like, wait, time out. Anthony's at Comic-Con for a bachelor party? Yeah. And I was like, yeah. They were like, what?
I'll tell you what. One of the reasons that we did that specific weekend was my brother Justin's not really like a big club guy, right? He's not going to be the one who for his bachelor party, there's like the girls in bikinis with the
I want that.
Right? That's not his thing.
Sparklers?
With the sparklers and the bottle of champagne or whatever. I don't even think he likes champagne to begin with. But it ended up being a great party weekend nonetheless. And I actually think it's because you take a city like San Diego, which when you get there, I mean, it was a little warmer than usual, I guess, when we were there, but it was beautiful. Like, the weather is amazing.
Yeah.
It's like what we have here in Seattle on a perfect summer day, except
today.
a little hotter, and they don't have the cool views that we have.
It's, by the way,
like
it's cold.
The beach is cool, but it's not as cool as the lakes and the mountains and everything that we have here.
It's cold and rainy here in Seattle today. I thought it was supposed to rain Wednesday, so I was very confused when I woke up. I had to change my whole outfit. Yeah. We look like it's winter in here.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
So I think you take the setting of San Diego and the way that the gas lamp district is like laid out with all the bars and restaurants and whatnot. And then you throw in nerds, like tons and tons of nerds who are dressed up. I mean, the amount of cosplay people, costumes that we saw was incredible. So now you have like these clubs that are filled with Wolverine and Deadpool and any other weird costume that you can think of.
Yeah.
So the first night,
and you guys didn't do costumes?
My brother did. He dressed as a character from Naruto, and then
is that the run?
Yeah.
Did you guys do the Naruto run?
A couple of us did. But then we had Roosevelt Church. The Roosevelts were nice enough to provide us with matching Naruto shirts. So but they were like kind of like Hawaiian styled. Cool. So we all, whoever didn't have a costume wore that. So we had my brother dressed up as the character from the show. Then there was someone dressed up with full Iron Man gear. Like he had the
I love it.
He had the one piece like tight.
Like
thing.
I want to go to Comic-Con in full costume, but I don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on a costume.
But then he had a pretty good Iron Man mask, like where the front comes off. It was pretty cool. And then there was someone who dressed up as, you remember Drunk Thor?
Yes.
Like the drunk out of shape Thor. He was that, which was fun. Which actually the shirt worked really well because it almost just looked like Thor on vacation.
Yeah.
So those were the three costumes. Everyone else. Oh, and my brother Michael actually dressed up as Homelander from The Boys, which I'm not familiar with the show.
I need to watch it.
But apparently he yells the C word a lot, which my brother didn't do. But people would yell at my brother.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite words.
Oh, no, sorry. Not Homelander, Billy the Butcher, or Billy Butcher, not Homelander. From Boys. Yeah. So again, I don't know any of the characters.
I hear that we are living that life apparently right now.
Something like that.
It's coming true. Apparently.
So
I don't know. I don't watch it.
We got there on Friday. Everyone showed up, and shout out to Carla Marie because we couldn't check into our Airbnb until 3 o'clock. But a lot of us got there at 9 or 10. Some people got there the day before. And I used that app the
Bounce.
Not app, the
website service
that you talked about called Bounce, where if you can't check into your hotel or Airbnb, you can still drop your bags off at these random locations. So I looked it up. I found a spot in the gas lamp district where we were hanging out. And it said the emergency room. I was like maybe a hospital has like a storage closet that they're using to like turn some extra money. Turns out the emergency room is just the name of a convenience store that's there. And we went to here, go for it.
By the way, I haven't had a bad nose day in 2 weeks.
So we used the Bounce service. It's this convenience store that was on 4th Ave, I believe, 4th or 5th Ave Street, whatever. And he just took our bags into some back closet office area. We left them there for 4 hours, came back. He gave us all our bags back.
It's cool.
And it's a good process. Like, they won't take your bags unless you show them the barcode from Bounce. And there was a bunch of other places. So you go into the Bounce website. I didn't have to download an app at all. Went to the Bounce website, put in my zip code. It pulls up all the areas, and we just found one that was like close to the central place that we were.
Do you have to show how do you pick them up?
So you go and you tell them how many full suitcases you have and how many duffels or backpacks or whatever. So we had 6 bags total. I went in there. I show the guy the app. He scans everything in. You take a picture of every tag that he puts on your bags. And then you go back. You show him the thing again, and you show him the pictures of all the tags.
Better hope you don't lose your phone.
Yeah, that would suck. But it would suck for a lot of reasons if you lost your phone. So that actually worked really well. So we then picked up our bags, went to the Airbnb. And Friday night, the only thing we really did, we had a nice dinner downtown, and then we went to Mosh Isley, which is basically a Star Wars themed pop punk emo rock night.
So no one's performing.
No, not a single performance. But the bassist from Bayside, Nick, is one of the guys who puts that on because he also has a Star Wars podcast. I believe Ryan from Yellow Card, the lead singer from Yellow Card, is also part of the group that like puts this event together. He wasn't there because they're on tour. And there's another guy from another band. And they take it to some of the biggest convention weekends. Like I know they do New York Comic-Con. They'll do Orlando.
God, we gotta do like an emo Disney night.
It was, out of all of the themed nights that I've been to, it probably had the best vibe. But it's also because you're not only there because...
No way. It wasn't better than Disney night.
You're not only there because you like the music, but you're there because you're nerdy enough to go to a Star Wars themed event. So everyone there kind of just understands we're all losers. Let's all be losers and have fun and be nerdy together.
I'm sure it was a great time.
Yeah.
I will not let you tell me it's better than Disney
It was
night.
awesome. It really, really, really was awesome. Juan is asking in the chat if I bought any Magic the Gathering cards because they, I guess, at Comic-Con, they had a Magic the Gathering booth that was selling newer, like some sort of specialty pack of cards. Mm-hmm. I did not buy any. I actually did a very good job of not buying anything, really. I bought a couple things from the Roosevelts. I forgot to bring them today. We'll do it tomorrow.
We got to rip some packs.
Yeah, we have some pins that we got from the Roosevelts, and I bought one Pokemon pin that will also open on the show tomorrow because it's one of those mystery ones. It was an Evolution set, so you don't know which EV variant you're getting. You know what I'm talking about at all?
It's a Pokemon.
Yeah, but do you know why?
Eevee is its name.
Yeah, but do you know what the evolutions are?
Like evolution?
Yeah. It
changes?
It does, but most Pokemon, they evolve in a very specific way.
But Eevee doesn't.
Eevee can evolve into 7, I think at this point, 7 different Pokemon. And they're all like cute and based on Eevee. So
I don't have enough brain space. I was thinking the other day, how did my brain learn at least half of the current Seahawks without their numbers? I see their face. I know every one of them, their full name. And then I'm like, oh, and he's number whatever. How did my brain do that?
It's not necessarily that you're forgetting anything. You're just putting certain things in like a place in your brain that's easier to access.
I don't get
it.
And
eventually you'll forget that stuff soon too. When you don't need it. Like once the season's over.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, basically.
But anyway, I don't. I always remember them.
So that was Friday. And Friday we all got some drinks. We all did the dinner, the Mosh Isley event, and then basically just went back to the Airbnb. And most people passed out relatively early. I'd say between 12 and 1. And a lot of them, almost all of them, are from the East Coast.
That is, sign me up.
Right, because so they're now at 3 o'clock in the morning there with their internal clocks. So we get up Saturday, and that's Comic-Con day. Now, we only had 6 passes to Comic-Con because one of the people that was supposed to get some passes kind of went dark on us. So we didn't have enough for everybody. But what it actually ended up being pretty cool because what we did is we went in kind of waves where a couple people would go in, then you'd scan out, and then you would send another group in. And I was part of the first wave that sat at the bar near the convention center.
I like that better, I think.
Well, we had a great breakfast with some drinks there, and they had the Olympics on. Oh. And it was the Olympic swimming events. So it was the first Olympic event that I saw. Like the day before, we saw a little bit.
Was it the 4x1?
It was the 4x1. So now keep in mind, it's like at this point, probably 11 o'clock in the morning, West Coast time. Bars, I'd say 75% packed.
Wait, you couldn't have been watching that.
Something like that. Maybe it was a little later in the day.
You weren't watching the opening ceremony?
This is Saturday now.
Oh, that was Friday.
Yeah.
Wow. Sorry.
And it was the last leg of the 4x1. And I noticed that America was in the lead. Men. So I started the USA chant in the whole bar for the whole last leg, which isn't terribly long, but the whole last leg of the men's 4x1. USA, USA. I could have ran through every brick wall in that building.
It's the best because everyone in there is rooting for the same team.
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. It didn't matter where you were from, what you believed in. Everyone was just chanting at the top of their lungs. And then when they eventually won, I mean, strangers were hugging each other. It was great. And then everyone just went back to normal life.
That's fun.
Because I forgot what event was next, but it was like, it wasn't a race-style event.
Was it shooting? Because it's so boring.
So it was harder to get everyone, like, into the moment. That's the best part of the race ones, right, is everyone's watching.
And the short races. I'm not doing that for the marathon.
Yeah. But it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And then I finally got to go into the convention. A couple people came out. We rotated. I stayed there for a while, and I went to like every merch booth you could just to check out what everyone had. The Roosevelts had 3 booths there, which was wild to see, like knowing where they started, literally my apartment in Jersey City, to now seeing my friend's company getting invited to the Lucasfilms section. Like literally Lucasfilms inviting specifically the Roosevelts to their section of International Comic-Con in San Diego was wild.
I think we do the Roosevelts a disservice when we talk to people and we're like, oh, my friend's shirt company.
Oh, yeah.
Which, if you have a small business and you're selling at a farmer's market, that's awesome. That's basically us. We get it. But I think that's what people think we're talking about. And I'm like, no. Yeah. This is a multi-licensed business that is selling F ton of shirts.
Literally, George Lucas's company is inviting them to his area in Comic-Con. And then they had that booth, which you can only put Star Wars stuff there, obviously. And they have enough Star Wars gear where they had the whole booth. Then they had one with the rest of their Roosevelt's gear. And then they have another brand that's under the Roosevelts. You can still see it on the website, but it's all golf inspired. So it's called Breakfast Balls. A lot of the same patterns and stuff or same licenses. So they had 3 separate booths at the biggest comic convention in the world. The one where Robert Downey Jr. came and surprised everyone on Saturday.
You didn't see that.
I didn't. My brothers were going to try to go into Hall H to see the Marvel, whatever thing they do, panel. By the time they got to the line, I think one of the security guards was like, hey, guys, there's not a chance you're getting in. Yeah. Like, the line's just not going to move as much. You're going to be sitting here for an hour for no reason.
It's nice of them to.
Yeah. So we didn't see that. My brother, Michael, saw one of the panels, I believe, and Justin, I think, saw half of a panel. Something like that. So apparently Kamala Harris did a video, like a video cut-in for one of the panels. I believe it was for The Simpsons.
Is it because Lisa, there's an episode of The Simpsons where Lisa becomes president?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. But don't they also have Donald Trump as president at some point in The Simpsons?
I think so. But there's like another correlation that I'm completely missing. But not only does Lisa become president, I think she may have been I don't know. There's something that's, and also they were wearing the same outfit. Like Kamala Harris is wearing the same outfit Lisa was wearing. Yeah. Maybe that was it.
But she did a pop in, and I think my brother Justin may have just missed that. Or something like that. Anyway.
She replaces Donald Trump as
president
in The Simpsons.
That's pretty hilarious. I didn't know that. So we get to explore all of Comic-Con, see all the cool costumes. A lot of butt cheeks at Comic-Con also.
Okay.
It's not something you expect if you've never been to one, but it's something you should be aware of. A lot of women in a lot of very suggestive costumes.
America's going down the drain. And
listen, no one complains. Everyone's enjoying it.
I'm sure
the men are enjoying it. The women are enjoying it. Everyone's enjoying it. So that was and then we kind of just bar hopped after that. Like we didn't have a set plan for the evening, but we definitely partied, which I'll get into later a little bit because people at Comic-Con.
There's more?
Oh, there's more. Okay. People at Comic-Con know how to party. I mean, that area of San Diego is where a lot of the tourists will go anyway and party. So I guess it's always very lit, if you will. But it was something. I mean, we didn't get back to the house I didn't get back until 2-ish when everything closed. Like we were kicked out of the bar basically, last call style.
Wow.
Yeah. It was fun.
Okay.
I want to take this break real quick because
now?
Yeah, we can take it now. Because Carla Marie has apparently ruined a business. Is it our business?
It's a business.
It's a business. And then I gotta get to part 2 of the bachelor party weekend, where things get I wouldn't say out of hand, but it gets a little weird. So we'll do that in a second.
Okay. There was a glitch.
Welcome back.
In the matrix of my brain.
There was a glitch just in your brain. The matrix was fine. All right, so Carla Marie, explain to us what business you ruined.
Okay. I just need to preface this with, I had very good intentions when I did this.
Okay.
And it wasn't until so far into the process that I realized I think I might have messed up.
Well, the road with hell is paved with good intentions, as they say.
So you posted last week.
Oh, boy. Yes.
You posted that. Do you know what I'm going to say?
I have no idea.
You posted that your shoes were so dirty and you might want to get new ones. So I took so much time this weekend to make them so clean. And then I was lacing them back up and I was like, oh my God, was he just trying to lure in some feet people?
Oh, no, it's fine.
Oh, well, I waited to tell you.
Wow.
They're so clean, right?
These are very clean now.
I think I'm going to start a shoe cleaning business.
These are pretty good.
When I tell you, I scrubbed them, I washed them, I hung them out to dry, and I was literally, when they were dried, I started lacing them, and I went, oh, shit.
I mean, listen, if some dirty foot person wanted them, someone who likes dirty feet, if someone wanted to buy them, I would have sold them. But
I thought...
I'm happy that I have clean sneakers now.
But I didn't take a before photo, so I need your before photo.
Okay, I could do that.
Right? Look at them, they smell so nice.
Also, I don't think I got any real good offers for the dirty ones, so...
I was panicked. I was like, I just lost Anthony hundreds of dollars.
No. This is perfect. Thank you very much.
They don't look that clean.
I appreciate that. They're very white.
I also have another surprise.
Oh, okay. There were a couple people that reached out like, oh, I want to buy your sneakers. And anytime someone says that now, I'm not against selling sneakers. Whatever your kink is, that's great. If I'm getting rid of some sneakers and you want to buy them, by all means. But what happens, and anyone with a following has probably dealt with something like this at some point. You'll get people who just want, like what they're getting off on essentially is messaging you about your feet. Right? So anytime.
I'm going to start my only feet page. I'm going to do it.
Set it up as like $5 a message and it'll work. I promise you.
Should I?
I mean, go for it. So what I do is if someone reaches out about dirty sneakers or dirty socks, I'll immediately hit them with a price. I'll immediately say, all right, $150. And then if they start like, well, how dirty are they? I'm not here to talk.
Yeah, I'm not dirty talking.
You're either sending me $150 or I'm not responding to this. And every now and then, it hasn't happened a lot, but a couple times people have sent the money, and then I'll send them a pair of sneakers, and then usually just whoever was just there for like the DMs, they're going to be gone. So like those sneakers, when I posted them, there were a couple of people like, oh, I'd love to buy those, and I would just say $100. And if they don't respond, that's it. Should
we do a joint only feet account, or it's probably not best?
I don't know.
Because we can take photos for people of our feet touching.
No, I'm not doing that.
Okay, $500.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm in. Sonali said, how did you get them so clean? I have a pair of faux suede work flats that need cleaning. Suede's a little weird. I let my dad clean suede for me, but...
Why him?
He's really, I don't know, he's so good at cleaning shoes.
Okay.
But...
Does he have blue suede shoes?
He probably does, to be honest. I put some OxyClean and baking soda into a bowl of hot water, and we have a shoe brush, so I clean them with that. Then I put them in the washing machine on delicate, and then put them outside to dry.
Mergen said that Gandhi, who I'm assuming from Elvis's show, set up a foot page. And here's the thing: if she did, the craziest part of radio is, what was it? At this point, it's got to be 5 years ago. Is when I first did that break on the radio about selling a picture of my foot for $100. The amount of people in radio who have come up to me after that and been like, hey, I used to get really mad at all the people that would ask for feet pictures on my page, but then I saw you talking about selling a foot picture for $100, and now I'm like open to it. And I know people in radio who have started feet pages after I did that break. I'm not saying that Gandhi is doing it because of that break, but the amount of people in radio specifically who see what we do and have gone down that path.
I've never made a penny off of my feet.
Oh, I think in total, granted this is over 5 years, I guess, since the first time I did, what did you just drop? Oh, another surprise. Since I first did that break where someone asked me for a picture of my foot and I just hit him back with $100 and they said yes and Venmo'd me, I've probably brought in like $1,200 total. Now that's not a lot of money over 5 or 6 years.
I'm gonna pay off my student loans with OnlyFeet. So OnlyFeet, I have to go on OnlyFans, right? To do it.
I think there is a foot specific one, but you're probably better off on OnlyFans. Like the business model is set. It's actually pretty good.
I've talked about this before, and I think if I make it a thing, like front facing on Instagram, TikTok, I'm making a only feet page to see if I can pay off my student loans.
It'll work.
And make it a thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the reason that so many people started following me was we took that break and we put it on YouTube.
It's still one of our most viewed videos.
I think currently it is our 4th most viewed video on YouTube, which is insane when you think about it. But it's there forever.
All right, so I'm gonna go and then who knows? Next, maybe I'll show some leg, and then we'll go from there.
Let's see. There's AMS06H said feetfinder.com.
Yeah, I'm on there. I think
Martha said the whole concept will forever baffle me, and I'm with you. Because I actually really don't like feet. I don't even like my own feet.
You hate feet.
But at the same time, whatever gets you going, enjoy it.
Heather on Long Island said, do you just wiggle your toes, or is there something like picking stuff up or squishing in wet sand? So there's levels.
Sweet Feet Anna?
Sweet Feet Anna.
Right, that was her Instagram handle or her like OnlyFans handle?
Her Instagram, and she was a dirty little secret.
Mm-hmm. And
she would like mush watermelon with her toes. There's a lot you can do.
You can take requests. People have asked her to put her foot in a chicken.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that.
Depends on, I mean, if someone's going to pay you $1,000 to put your foot in a chicken.
Dude, I can pick up things with my feet so well.
Can you write with your feet?
I haven't really tried.
I bet you that would be like huge for people if
write
you could
name.
like almost like Cameo. Right, but you do like birthday messages and stuff by writing things with your feet. I think people would love it.
Okay, I think
certain people would love it.
My student loans, I think I have around $27,000 left, which is just so fucking insane.
Yes,
I have paid way more than what I took out.
Imagine all the things you could have done with your money.
It makes me so sick to think about. I don't know what the math is, but I have paid $800 a month since 2010.
What was the original amount of
$103,000
total? That's what you needed to pay for school.
That's what I graduated with, and your interest doesn't start until after graduation.
Okay, so $103,000 is what you took to pay for school, and what like living expenses as well, or just salary, tuition, and books.
Yes, okay. Living as well. I've paid between I'd say $700 and $800 a month. It's because right now I'm at $700 a month. At that $800 was in the very beginning, and then also when I had my federal loans, which I wish I didn't pay off. I paid a big chunk of I just paid all of them off.
Also, would you have
I should
qualified?
I should have put that money towards. It's not that I wouldn't have would have qualified to have them waived, but they probably would have been frozen during COVID, and I could have put all that money towards my private loans, and it would have knocked down those much faster because they were higher interest. But when I paid off the student loans, I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
The federal ones. So I think I could get the $27,000. I think I could pay that off within a year if I do Feet Finder or only feet.
From the people, and I feel like we've talked about this a lot, but from the people that I know who have dabbled or gone full into the OnlyFans world, I feel like it's kind of like what stripping used to be back in the day.
Well, I wonder, do you think I'm going to turn into a full stripper if I start this?
So there is a path to that.
This is like the gateway drug.
It is. So here are the things that I've learned from people who I've known directly and talked to about OnlyFans.
Because if someone's like $20,000 for...
So the first part is you can go in, much like stripping back in the day, or still today, you can go in with the intent to pay off a loan, right? Or pay for school. Oh, I just want to get myself through school. I don't want to take out loans. Maybe I'll dance on the weekends. Okay. But what happens is you end up seeing how quickly you can make money.
Yeah.
And there aren't a lot of jobs that, whether it's OnlyFans or stripping or whatever, any sort of quote unquote sex work or like kink work, there aren't a lot of jobs that are going to pay as much as quickly as those jobs. So then,
and a lot of tips.
Let's say you pay off your student loans. Let's say it's 6 months, $27,000 gone, done.
Why would I stop?
Exactly.
Because I can buy a house.
Exactly. Then you go, okay, well, if I do it for another 6 months, now I have $27,000, maybe more, and I could put a down payment here or pay off this other debt. And you pay off that next debt, right? And you go,
I will never stop.
Then you go,
I'll be old, wrinkly
exactly.
feet.
Then you go, I just made $54,000 in a year
taking photos
doing
of
nothing
my feet
for a couple hours, maybe a couple hours a week total. Right? That's not a 40-hour. That's not a 40-hour a week job or an overtime job. So then you start going, okay, well, I want to go legit, if you will. I'd like to take a mainstream corporate job of some sort. And you take your interview and they say, okay, let me see your resume. You go, God, I got to make a resume. Let me see your cover letter. God, I got to make a cover letter. Then you go, okay, let's do this interview. You go, Jesus Christ, how many things do I have to do just to get this job that's going to pay me $40,000 a year? And then that's the conundrum that a lot of people end up in. I mean, I know a girl, I'll actually see her in 2 weeks when I go down to Vegas. She is not a stripper. She doesn't do sex work, if you will, at all. But she does work at a strip club. She's the woman who runs the whole VIP bottle service area. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of money in that job. And she is, keep in mind, I'm in my upper 30s now. She's older than I am. And I know because we had the conversation where she's like, I don't love the hours.
Right.
I don't love what I'm doing every day. She goes, but I can walk out of here on a good night with $7,000 in my pocket.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Get me this job.
So
I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't.
And that's the thing. She deals with
loud.
The hours are insane. I mean, she's not showing up till work until 11, sometimes midnight, not getting home until 5 in the morning. You're dealing with a lot of very drunk, obnoxious men, mostly. You're dealing with a lot of the drama behind the scenes with all the women. So it's one of those things where yes, there's a lot of money, but it's a lifestyle that I don't think most people are used to or would want. And then the other part of it is, at some point, the industry or whoever is the gatekeeper of the industry tells you, like, we don't want you here anymore. You know, you don't fit the mold. Exactly.
Yeah,
and
that's
they go,
the
now, shoot. Now
yeah,
what?
but I'm not going to have the and then what with feet pics.
You might.
No.
What if OnlyFans gets shut down?
But I have other things that I can do and have been doing. That's the difference. That's what I'm saying. I'm not.
But that's the question. The only thing I'm saying is a lot of people will very quickly be like, and it happens to a lot of young women now, right? Is they go, oh, I can do OnlyFans and maybe show like just my butt cheeks. And then you start seeing the money.
If someone's like, I will pay off your student loans for a photo of your boobs, they're all yours. I'll send you the before and after.
Then you do a little bit more. And then you do a little bit more. And then you get to a point where now, yes, OnlyFans has ways to like protect your content, but anything you put on the internet, that's there forever.
I went to sneeze and I was going to say, bless you, it's true, because that's what my mom always says.
I muted it
and
for
then
a
I
second.
didn't sneeze, and so it's not true what you said. It's not there forever.
So that's the problem, is a lot of people get into it. They don't know how to get out. They kind of get sucked into it for a long time. And you have to remember, everything you put on the internet, whether it's Snapchat, OnlyFans, whatever secret thing you think you're doing, it's not actually secret. All it takes is one hacker. All it takes is one person with an extra phone to take a picture of their screen.
Yeah, but it's just my feet.
I'm just talking about the general OnlyFans world. Everything you put out there is there forever. Oh, here we go. Marijuana said a client of mine does OnlyFans to fund travel and his streaming and he has a full-time job as well.
Yeah, Lenny said that he has a friend who just does Feet Finder to fund vacations, and she goes on a lot of vacations.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not saying that it's good or bad. I'm saying there are some people who get caught up into it.
All right, well,
normally the people who end up getting caught up into it are usually women who start younger, right? If you start at 18 because you think, I can make a ton of money and I don't have to get a regular job, then you start realizing you're not building anything else for yourself. You've just created this one avenue. Now, if you're smart enough to save your money, invest it in smart things like Amaranth does, who she's not a great comparison because she's like the biggest streamer OnlyFans person out there, but she owns gas stations now. She owns pizza delivery places now. She owns all of these different things so that, in 5 years, she doesn't have to do this anymore.
Marijuana said his client is a buff dude and does post-workout photos. Apparently does really well. Hint, hint, Anthony.
Listen.
Is it you?
It is not me. I think we have talked about this client. I don't know who the client is, obviously. But it's not a bad business model.
Wait, so you just gotta send photos of shirtless after working out?
I think these photos of this client might also have some dong in there.
Yeah, but if not, will you send shirtless photos?
I don't know.
You posted them to Instagram before.
I have.
Money.
I have.
We're posting things to Instagram for no money. Also, I love seeing women when they post things to Instagram now. They block out their feet on purpose.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'll crop my feet out of pictures.
I put words over it. Hell no.
You gotta pay for these toes.
But cleavage. Back when I had it.
Here's the thing. I bet you could make more money selling pictures of feet than just cleavage.
100%.
Right? Like guys aren't buying pictures of cleavage generally because you literally see that at the mall. Yeah. You just go anywhere and you see it. But speaking of shirtless pictures and things like that.
I have something in my hand.
Oh, you have another thing.
It's been in my hand this whole time.
Okay, go for it.
And you already said you have another thing, and I said yes, and now you said it again.
Okay, go.
It's something you were very excited about.
I was excited about this. Oh, you got them. This is so cool. So these are the Alex Trebek stamps, the Forever stamps.
I screamed when they said they had them at the post office. I told them, I don't think I've ever bought stamps before. And they said, what?
I mailed a bunch of stuff out the day these became available.
I know.
And I asked, and they hadn't gotten to this, because we have a smaller post office here. It's not one of the big city ones. We have a smaller post office here, and they didn't have them yet. So I'm so happy you got them.
Yeah, they're super cool. I don't know if I'm ever going to use them.
And they all say the same thing,
and they're
right?
so big.
So the top categories are entertainment, game show hosts, famous Alexes, and Forever stamps. Cool. But then all of the stamps say, this naturalized U.S. citizen hosted the U.S. quiz show Jeopardy for 37 seasons. And then you flip it over, and you can read, who is Alex Trebek?
Can we get a close-up? Sure can, Martha. I told the post office, I was like,
the glare's too much.
Hold on. That's the best I could do for you.
Yep.
That's
really cool.
I said, I don't think I ever bought stamps for it. They said, really? I said, well.
I bought a roll of stamps, like the American flag ones.
A roll of regular stamps, not special. That's annoying me.
So that is really cool. There's always going to be a glare. Oh, maybe not. There we go. Carla Marie, well done. So, Carla Marie.
I have another thing in my bag.
All right, you want to do another show and tell real quick?
It's not a...
Oh, there were Mr. Rogers stamps recently?
Okay, so...
The heck is that?
I'm returning it to Amazon, but... Shock potato is at the bottom of the list.
It is
at the bottom,
It was one
of my pitches for the Seahawks video to have the players play this, but...
Is it like hot potato?
It got denied because people think their players are going to get hurt and I'm going to ruin the whole season. I don't need that.
You burn some players' hands?
I don't need that on my conscience. Oh my God, why is my nose so itchy? We played this with my family on Christmas Eve. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I did look familiar.
Oh,
okay.
Alex fell.
It's okay.
So we're going to...
It's like hot potato, but it shocks you instead of buzzing.
If you ever went to an arcade and you did the Addams Family and you hold it and it vibrates you like Uncle Fester, then you know what this is.
Okay.
I'm returning it because it hasn't been used. It'll be used, but I'm going to return it.
Now you have proof.
Sorry, Jeff Bezos. But we're going to do it on normal, not extreme.
Okay.
Because extreme doesn't play music, and the music's the best part. Also, they thought that the music might be copyrighted.
I doubt it. I doubt the sweet potato, no, shock potato people are coming after their music.
You move that. I'm scared.
Because of the water? You think you're going to...
No, I'm scared I'm going to knock it over. So if you don't know how this game works, you throw it back and forth like a hot potato.
Okay.
And then if it shocks you, you scream.
Okay.
Not voluntarily. Oh, wait, I got to turn it on.
Do we have music?
Yeah. Throw it to me, ding dong. You're going to hold it. Then I would have put it on extreme. Why would you do that? Stop! You're playing wrong. Ow, you hit my boob. Don't watch my face.
I somehow got both of us. This is a fun game, actually.
Okay,
how do you turn it off?
What do you mean?
There's lame, extreme, reset.
Off.
Oh, it's off now? Okay.
Yeah. It's so fun.
It is a very fun game. And it's not expensive, right?
It's like $28, but it's going back.
So like
ages 14 and up, though.
So for your next family party, it is a good thing to throw in there.
Oh, my God. It's so much fun. Extreme? What happens on Extreme?
Well, want to try it out?
All right, so extreme doesn't make noise, though. You just know it starts. Okay, it starts. Oh, I heard like some weird noise when it started. Wait, I got to take out my headphones. I'm scared it's gonna like hurt me. Wait, I'm sweating. No, I don't want to take it back. I don't want to.
Did it get you?
I'm sweating. Okay, so anyway, that's going back to Amazon today. Because I originally was like, what if I get the guys to play Bop It? Because I was looking, I think nostalgia. What's a fun thing that they could have fun with, even though they're probably too young for Bop It?
Yeah.
And what is something the audience will love to watch? It's like, oh, I love playing Bop It. I can't wait to watch my favorite Seahawks play it. So I was like, let me get Bop It. And then this came up, and I was like, oh, that game is so much fun. That's great. So I said, all right, if we can't play Shock Potato, what about Bop It? And they said, the Bop It song is probably trademarked, so we can't play it.
What if you just brought a hula hoop and see who can hula hoop?
But then what if they get injured and tear an oblique?
They're not gonna get injured hula hooping.
They
gotta get loose in the hips anyway. You could do Simon, maybe,
but
because Simon doesn't have music. Neither does Bop It, really. Bop It's just telling you.
No, it's going in the background.
All right.
Bop It.
We are moving on. We've done 3 things of show and tell, Carla Marie. But going back to OnlyFans and shirtless pictures and whatnot, I can safely say that your boy still got it, Carla Marie. It's either that or the women in San Diego are very, very forward. Like very, very forward.
Okay.
So the last night, which was Saturday night that we were out at Comic-Con, we were in the Gaslamp District, and we ended up, I think it was called like American something, right? We were at it was just like a regular kind of like restaurant, bar, lounge type of spot. And we get in, and there's 9 of us, right? We were able to take over this spot that probably should have been a VIP table, but they just didn't bother us, and we didn't buy any bottles or anything.
Oh, wow.
We were just there. But they had like kind of the dance platform right at the back of the couch. And I noticed that they let our Iron Man guy, who was still dressed as Iron Man for the whole night, he was just dancing up there the whole time. I'm like, okay, they're actually letting guys dance on that thing, which is usually the second a guy gets up there, there's a security guard telling him to get down. So then, like, we kept drinking, kept taking shots. A couple of us would get up there and dance along with Iron Man. And the next thing you know, like, the bar is packed. Now, thankfully, we have this one area, but we're not giving drinks to anyone. Like, there aren't what you would call bottle rats in the nightclub world. But, there's random groups of girls that would notice that all of us are in matching shirts. So like, oh, what are you guys here for? A bachelor party? Yes. And we'd obviously point to my brother as the bachelor. And then they'd linger around, and some guys would talk to them, some wouldn't. We had, I think, 2.5 single guys in our party. We had 2 fully single guys and 1 who was in an open relationship, apparently.
Okay, I was like, how are we half
So
single?
I'd say it's 2.5.
Okay.
Right? Or I guess we had 3 fully available guys for whatever.
Which half of him was? I was going to say, which half of him?
So, we ended up there, and now these groups of girls are coming over to us, and every now and then you're mingling or talking, whatever. Hey, where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. And 4 separate instances. We'll go in order as to each of these happened. Okay?
But what? Okay.
So the first one comes up, and she comes up to me. She goes, oh, I guess you guys are here for like a birthday party or bachelor party. I said, yeah, there's the bachelor over there. And she goes, oh, well, how many of the guys in this group are single? And I said 3, just so I didn't have to sit there and explain the situation. And she goes, are you one of those 3? And I said, I am not. I said, I'm sorry, I'm not.
Bitches be bold these days.
And she literally went, oh, that's too bad, and walked away. And I was like, all right, I'll take that's a nice little compliment. I'll take it. And she wasn't like, I felt like that was a very respectful way to go about it, right?
Yeah, but see, if that was a guy, it'd be so creepy.
Why?
I just know it would turn creepy.
And it might not.
A guy to a girl, woman.
Then, we're still going, and I'm dancing on the back of the couch. I'm standing. The DJ was awesome. This was the first time I had been to a lounge, club, whatever you want to call it, bar, where I literally felt like it was pre-pandemic vibes. right? It was crowded, but like everyone was having a good time. The DJ, everyone was actually dancing.
That's cool.
Like a lot of people were actually dancing.
You also weren't out in Seattle.
That's true. That's true. I was in San Diego. And again, it was the nerds taking over San Diego. So you had a bunch of people in like literally in costumes. Sailor Moon was hitting on me at one point.
What?
Yeah. So that was the girl, actually. She was dressed as Sailor Moon.
That's
she was
awesome.
the one that asked me if I was one of the single ones.
That's number one. What happened number two?
Number one. Number two, I was coming back from the bathroom, and a woman who I had literally never seen or spoken to up until that point in the night comes up to me by the bar, and she like mouthed something as she was approaching me. And I said, I'm sorry, what? What did you say? And she goes, I want you. And I stopped, and keep in mind, I literally didn't know this woman existed before she said those words. And I said, to do what? Do you need help moving something? I have no idea. So she reiterates, she goes, no, I want you. And she like grabbed my arm, and I said, oh, I'm flattered, but I can't do that. Thank you. And she goes, and she, again, so she went, oh, okay, that's very polite of you. Thank you. And walked away. And I was like, that was super, super weird.
You were not in Seattle anymore, my friend.
Then, and my brother Michael was with me this third time. My brother Michael was literally right next to me this third time. I don't know if he's in the chat, but he can vouch for me. Another girl who I literally did not speak to at any point in the night. I'm at our table. I'm standing on the couch dancing with some of the friends and whatnot. And this girl's pointing at me from like the walkway between where our table was and the bar. She's walking out and she's pointing at me. And I'm like looking around like, oh, she can't be pointing. I have no idea who this is. The fuck's she pointing at? So I went like this at one point, and she said, yeah. And she's still pointing. And I said, I just went like this. And she went like that. She put her head down like she was sleeping. And I looked very confused, and she pointed at me, then pointed at herself, and went like
You're
this.
lying to me.
I swear to God. I will call my brother, because I don't think he's in the chat. Let's see.
Mocky Tom said that girl was him.
Hold on, let me see. But I don't think Justin was there when that
girls that were just super confident.
Hey, you're on speakerphone right now.
On Twitch.
On Twitch, but I don't know if anyone on Twitch can hear you. Okay, so here, put this. You can ask him.
Anthony is telling me that some girl was basically miming to him to sleep with her from the bar.
1,000%.
Thank you.
I'm not shocked that I'm more shocked that is literally how she.
She went up. It was like what was it? Night at the Roxbury, where it's like you, me, you, and then she just kept doing like a tilted head to the side with her sleeping hands.
Thank you.
I can't. I said bitches be bold these days.
Please tell me that you also updated her on the Old Man in the Charmander t-shirt with headphones in.
Oh yeah, there was some random guy. It was an older guy in a Charmander shirt, and what did he say to us? He said, a pretty girl like that asks you to go.
Oh, sorry.
And we both lied. Well, we didn't both lie. Anthony actually has a girlfriend, and I lied and said I had a girlfriend, and he just goes, it's okay, just for a short time.
Yeah, I said, I don't think my girlfriend would appreciate that. And he goes, he said something like, she'll get over it.
Oh, for you is she'll get over it. For me, he was like, no, just go for a little bit. Just do it a little bit.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you guys didn't take him up on that. Wow, this is insane. I'm glad you guys had a great time.
Thank you, Mikey. Yeah. Bye.
Love you, bye.
So that was the third one.
I'm going to use that.
That was the most ridiculous, because we didn't even exchange words. At least the girl that came up to me and said, I want you, those are words being exchanged between two people that could go, what?
Right. Well, I love what Sonali said. She said, bitches be confident, go girls, but at least they take no for an answer. Like, no one's like, oh, come on, oh, whatever. See, when you do that to a guy and you say no, they're like, slut. No, clearly not, because I am not going with you.
And I'm not trying to cast judgment on any of these girls. They were very confident.
And I love it.
And listen, if that's what you want to take home and you get a couple yeses, by all means.
Go for it.
Go for it. Enjoy yourself.
I love that.
The fourth one was a little more aggressive. Now, this is a girl who, I don't know what her deal was. I don't know what she was celebrating. I don't know what she was doing. But she, you could tell, was hopping around just like every guy would in her situation, trying to see like who eventually she could go home with, basically. Like she literally talked to multiple guys in this bachelor party.
I love that people though are speaking to people at bars.
Oh yeah,
and not just.
Again, none of this is stuff that I'm upset about.
No, I love it.
It was just a very wild night of very confident people, and maybe it's the nerds coming out, right? Maybe it's the fact that there's just a bunch of nerds who just want to do it. God bless. So this fourth woman, I'm literally watching her talk to other guys in this bachelor party. She got up on stage. One of the single guys is my brother's friend, Phil, and she was like dancing next to Phil for a while. I was like, oh, maybe Phil's gonna get some or whatever. And I guess her friends were asking her to leave. So she eventually she was walking by me, and she grabs me by the arm, and she says, hey, you're coming home with me. And I said, I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. And then, but she wouldn't let go of my arm.
See, here's the difference.
And she was like, are you sure? And I said, I'm positive. I am not going home with you. And then she still is holding on to my arm.
This is where like women can get away with things like that. If a guy ever did that to me, it would have been elbow to the nose.
I'm not gonna hit her.
No, I know that. But if a guy was like, hey, you're coming home with me, I would have been like, oh, I'm being kidnapped. Like I would have been screaming.
It was something. It was something. What?
Fred the mailman said, gotta catch them all. And
was
put
trying.
every Anthony emote in
No,
here.
that woman was trying to catch them all. She was trying to catch whoever she was willing to be caught, basically.
Man.
And listen, all of us, when we're single at some point, are in that mode. We're like, I'm just going to see if I'm going to take something home tonight.
But you know what, though? I am so proud of these women.
Yeah, they were all fine. Like, none of them were overly rude. Now, you did bring up a good point, because I didn't even think about it.
But if almost in every one of those situations, if it was a guy doing it to a woman.
Well, no, I think the other three were all fine.
If a guy was like, get the fuck out of here.
I mean, maybe. But I do think the fact that she grabbed my arm, that would have, if you flipped those roles and I grabbed a girl's arm
and said, hey,
you're coming home with me,
I would have been like mace to the face.
Yeah, that would have been aggressive. But it's funny that I didn't even think, and granted, she was much smaller than me. So like that woman was not abducting me. There was zero chance. But I was much larger than her, so if those roles were flipped, I could see how that would be terrifying for her.
You couldn't be more opposite on the scale of the conversation we are happening right now.
Yeah.
I would probably be sitting here crying. Yeah. I would have had to file a police report.
Well, and again, it was only that was the only one I think if you switched the roles would have been overly aggressive. Which means maybe she was also overly aggressive, right? Why is aggressiveness on a sexual scale?
It's not. It shouldn't be. And it is. That is a weird thing to do. It should have been no touch. Hey, would you like to come home with me?
Hey, my hands are visible. You are coming home with me.
But also like if a guy was like, I want you, I'd been like, ew.
Yeah, it was weird too, because she didn't ever tell me, she never finished the sentence and told me what she had in mind for me or why she wanted me.
Fred said the only Pokemon you would have caught that night would have been Itchy Crotch.
There was also a girl that was by our table at one point wearing essentially like a full, I don't think it was like a comic inspired outfit.
She just goes out like that every night.
It was full like netting essentially, like mesh. With just like a thong and a bra under it. So like you saw full butt cheek. And not only did you see full butt cheek through the mesh, there were side panels cut out on her hips. So it was full skin.
Do you think that it was like a special night at the bar? Like,
I don't know. I think
ladies' night.
We ended up being at 3 different bars, and that kind of vibe, just the fun, almost like post-college bar vibe, was at all of them.
Or college bar.
And it was very fun. Like everything about the night was fun. People were drinking, like even guys. There was a random guy that was hanging out with us the whole night named, I think, Darrell or something. We never got full confirmation as to what his name was. But apparently he was in town for the day because he took some cybersecurity test and he had to fly out the next morning but didn't have a hotel. So he was just going to all the different bars. He eventually went I think he went from the bar directly to the airport at like 3:30 in the morning. And he ended up somehow in our group.
Cybersecurity.
And he was great. And we kind of like adopted him for the day. And there's like
cute. You should give him a shirt.
Other groups of guys were all still very cordial with one another. And it was just a good
Do you think it was just
vibe.
the Comic-Con vibe? Or
I think that was part of it. I really, really do. I think you fill a place with that many. What was that noise?
The potato went off.
Oh, I think you fill a space or a city with that many nerds who are there to just be themselves, right? Like, you're not going to be cool being like, oh, I bought these passes for Comic-Con because I really want to go see the author of Power Rangers. Like, that's not impressing anybody.
Okay.
So I think it's just people going out there being like, hey, we're all nerds in our own right. Let's enjoy ourselves.
What convention do you think gives the complete opposite vibe at the bar?
Probably the Olympia, the bodybuilding competition.
Do they drink even?
I think once they're done with their...
No, but that's different though. That's a competition. I said convention.
True. Yeah, it's tough because all the weightlifting ones, even like the Arnold Classic,
maybe the RNC, way different vibe at those bars.
The DNC, yeah, any of the political ones,
Yeah,
both of them are gonna suck. Trust me, I don't think people that go to the DNC are fun either.
No, certainly not.
Losers. If
you're going to a convention and you're not there to report on the event
or speak, I guess if you're a speaker and they're paying you to be there, by all means, go for it. But like, I can never imagine myself
political convention.
Yeah, I could never imagine myself going to an RNC or a DNC and being like wearing the hat and like screaming my head off because they're telling me things they've tweeted throughout the year.
I'd rather sit on my couch and get Twitter updates.
Not a fun time. And again, I'm saying that for the RNC or the DNC. Do not put me at a political convention. Now, again, if they're paying me to speak, I'll take their money.
What other convention would suck?
Would suck?
Cybersecurity convention?
No, those nerds are definitely getting down.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they know how to interact with people.
I think any convention, honestly, you're going to have a good crowd because you've got to think about it. If you all know you have at least one thing in common, right? Whether it's an industry convention or a hobby, you all have something in common. So it breaks down that first wall with you and all of these strangers.
I know. I went to the Twilight convention.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was everyone getting down and dirty like the nerds at Comic-Con?
12.
Oh, okay.
We were not at bars.
Run
Like a Husky said, veterinary conventions, man, craziness.
Yeah. Let's see. Sonali said work conventions are boring. I guarantee you, at whatever work convention you go, there is a group.
Morning show boot camp.
There is a group that's going out, and they're going out hard. And they're probably swapping spit, at least.
People get wild at radio, morning show boot camp, but I don't think people really hook up.
I guarantee
they have, but I'm saying it's not.
Yeah.
It's very different because it's not a giant convention where people are going and it's not like a Comic-Con, right? Morning show boot camp is you all kind of like know each other already.
Yeah, there's less strangers.
Yeah.
That's true. But I also know, I mean, from a lot of the dirty little secrets that we've heard over the years and just from regular stories, work conventions are also where a lot of people cheat. A lot of people are like, well, I'm away from my spouse for this long.
With someone that I know.
Yeah, I know these people. Maybe they're in my office. Maybe they're one of my clients. Go out for drinks. Next thing you know, you're hanging and banging.
I downloaded a photo. Can you put it on the screen?
Oh, yeah.
This is Sorry, I forgot Alexville.
Okay, so where am I? You downloaded it already?
Mm-hmm. It's called Unnamed One.
Unnamed One. Let me get that on the screen here.
This is a part of my wild weekend.
Okay.
I was cleaning shoes, playing shock potato, buying stamps, and you're at the bar getting hit on by all these bitches.
I will say, as a confidence boost, great weekend.
I'm glad you had that.
Great weekend.
Now you're back here, bitch.
Okay, here we go. I'll put this on screen.
So,
there we go.
Lenny from Queens. It's so bizarre that I feel like I'm Inception right now.
Yeah.
Lenny from Queens was in town this weekend. I gave him a quick little tour of the Ballard area. I took him to Sweet Mickey's.
My favorite candy place.
He got some chocolate-covered gummy bears.
So good.
And I took him to the studio to show him around.
There we go. He got his I didn't realize he had a You Look Great shirt on the whole time. What's the duck or the penguin?
That is his daughter, Brooks. That's her favorite stuffed animal.
Okay.
Brooke, apostrophe S, not Brooks.
Gotcha.
That's her favorite stuffed animal, and he took it and took photos of it everywhere.
That's pretty cool. Well,
So
Lenny, It's crazy. The one day that he was here was the one full day that I was gone. But I'm glad he got to see the studio.
It was cool. He said, I will say it looks much bigger on camera. I said, that's what everyone has said in the history of any time I have brought anyone into any studio. Think about even radio. Oh my God, it's much smaller than I imagined.
I feel like our radio studios in Seattle are huge.
But people still say that.
Really?
It's much smaller than I imagined.
Yeah. Also, with the way that we would stream that studio, you would generally didn't see it all at the same time.
But people would say that even when I brought them up to Elvis's studio and it wasn't even on on video.
That's one of the biggest studios you're going to see. Is
people would
Elvis's
be like,
studio.
oh my God, it's much smaller than I thought.
But
it's weird.
I think we got through the whole list. And
Wow.
I'm trying to think if there's anything from the bachelor party that I wanted to get to and didn't, and I can't think of anything really.
How you almost missed your flight?
Oh, we could do the whole flight situation tomorrow, because that was something. I will say is that night where we went out to the bar and everything. I was flying out when we got home. I was flying out. Let's see, we got home at 2:00. I was flying out at 6:00. So there was only 4 hours between when I got home and when I was supposed to be on my flight. So I packed up, cleaned up a little bit. Next thing you know, and I was going to leave for the airport at like 4:30. So now it's like 3:00. I'm like, oh, I'll just hang out here, scroll on my phone for a little bit. And I already planned the Lyft that was going to pick me up. Next thing I know, it's 5:30 in the morning. I guess I fell asleep scrolling on my phone on the couch. And the only reason I actually woke up.
Your flight departed in 30 minutes from that moment.
The doors were going to close in 30 minutes. And I was like, there's no way. But the only reason I woke up, honestly, is because I was on the couch downstairs and my brother Michael was on the couch across from me and he was snoring. And he was snoring so loud.
Not surprised.
That it woke me up and I popped out. So I called another Lyft, which said it was going to take like 6 minutes to get there. So I went, brushed my teeth, gathered my stuff. And thankfully, I was already dressed and packed from the night before. And I had no idea where our Airbnb was in relation to the airport. So I was like, this could take me 30 minutes just to get there.
You didn't fly into San Diego. Yeah. You trained in.
So Lyft picks me up, and the entrance, the on-ramp to the highway is literally, you could see it from our driveway. It's right there. So he gets on the highway, and I look at the map that he's got. It says estimated arrival time 8 minutes. I'm like, oh my God, we're so close. This might actually work. And I have pre-check and what's it called? Not one pass, pre-check and clear.
One pass? What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Did you just invent something?
So I get out, run through the airport to the security.
So at this point, think about it. So you woke up, Lyft took 6 minutes, 5:36, 8 minutes to get there. That's 5:44.
Yeah. So the doors are going to close in 16 minutes. So I get to security, and unfortunately, they don't have clear. They only have TSA pre-check. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to hold out hope. I know that when I was taking my Spirit flight down from Seattle, it took them forever to load the plane.
Martha said she's sweating listening to the story.
So I get through. Thankfully, my bag doesn't have to be checked or anything. I have no laptop. I go straight through. And by chance, I get up the escalator from security, and my gate is the first gate to the left, gate 17. So I get there, and there's no one at the gate at all. No one's still lining up, nothing. I get in. They literally closed the gate door behind me. I was the last person. I get on the plane. We take off, like, honestly, within 10 minutes, we were in the air. From the moment I sat down on my seat, and I made it. I was in shock. I sat there for the first 10 minutes as we were
I would have been like
flying.
I was thrown up, actually.
Stunned. And the crazy thing was I actually didn't stress.
How are you not hungover?
I mean, I was definitely tired throughout the day, but I also drank a lot of water. The hydration gummies from Seattle Gummy Company, I had 2 of those. One before I started drinking and one when I got home. So I actually felt pretty good. My body is a little sore because...
I would have never made it. Never.
Why?
Because I would have just spent the first 5 minutes going,
But that's actually, I think that's what did it is I jumped, and granted, like I said, I had packed up the night before and I was dressed already. But I jumped into action. Like, first thing I did, still crusties in my eyes, was I hit call Lyft. And then I just figured it out as I went, basically.
But you also said you had a Lyft scheduled, and you missed that one. They called you and everything, you didn't wake up.
Yeah.
Why don't you have sounds on your phone?
Oh, I don't do sounds.
Also, your alarm was going off this morning for such an extended period of time. So sounds don't even... How did Michael snoring wake you up?
So let's see. Scotty said I would have said, F it, too old for that. No, and as I was getting ready. So I brushed my teeth. I threw my toothbrush in my bag, and I waited outside for the Lyft because I didn't want to miss it for like 1 second. I mean, he rolled up, and I jumped in his car, basically. And I told him, I said, hey, I'm not telling you to rush or anything. I just want you to know I'm a little panicked right now because I might miss my flight. He was like, all right. And he didn't do anything crazy.
No, but he knew.
But yeah, he at least knew. And I was actually pretty proud of myself. Once it was all settled, I was like, I actually didn't panic. Like, I got up and I rushed things. Like, I did things quickly. But there was never a moment where I was just, I was stressing without doing anything. I just jumped in, did everything right away.
That's a good skill.
And right away, as I sat down, because I knew I had a couple minutes in the car, I started looking up flights. All right, if I miss this, is there another flight? And I could have probably booked, like, it would have been like $400. But I would have booked like a noon flight from San Diego directly to Seattle. But it all worked out. And we'll go through how I broke down my flight tomorrow. But I was able to save with my travel using some trains and going to other cities. No, all of it combined, I saved $500 basically. I'll do the math tomorrow. Okay. But I think it was $500.
Meech said she did this in the airport. Mm-hmm. She was already in the airport and checked in and fell asleep. They almost closed the doors, but an employee woke them up. That's
very nice.
I mean, that happened to us, how we missed a connecting flight.
That's true.
We were sitting there. They claimed we were sitting at the front gate, and they were like, we've been calling your names this whole time. We were sitting right at the gate.
But we missed it because
I had to run back and get my purse from another gate.
Yeah. So that we were there and we were awake and everything, but because Carla Marie left her bag on the other plane, we wouldn't have been able to get on any other flights. So she had to run back, but by the time she ran back and came back, it just didn't make sense. But all right, it is time for us to get out of here. What are you scrolling for, Carla Marie?
I was just seeing if I missed anything.
Okay. It is time to get out of here. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. We will be back tomorrow. And don't forget, there is a new episode of the Morning Show podcast wherever you get your shows.
Peace out, Scouts.